regret doing this video.
Hello and welcome to Feverdreams.
Today we are discussing which is worse, Millennial Cringe or the Gen Z stare.
Ooh.
Do we have any credentials?
No.
Do we have any references for you?
No.
Are we full of vibes? Yes.
Okay, wait. I think what would be fun if you defined the Gen Z stare and I defined Millennial Cringe.
Love it.
So,
Okay.
Millennial defining Gen Z stare.
Excuse, age before beauty.
Yes.
As I do something immediately cringy. I cannot wait to get called out 5 billion times in this video because I am cringe as fuck. All right, so let's discuss the Gen Z stare first off. So,
yes.
Okay, there's a few different definitions that I have heard being peddled around over the Gen Z stare. The first one that I heard, which is the one that I've heard like the most people kind of agree upon, is the Gen Z stare specifically refers to when you speak to a young person, usually in Gen Z, and or sometimes I feel like they're talking about like old Gen Alpha kids. It seems to be teenagers right now. Yeah. It seems like right now, 2025, they're talking about people between the ages of like 16 and like 22, 23.
Yeah, that
like
little younger.
Yeah, that kind of
age.
that bracket right there, very specifically. And it refers to when you either are working or like maybe you go in somewhere and you ask someone a question or you ask someone a certain thing and they do not respond and they just stare at you. So the examples I heard of are like some kids, I guess, some young people went into a restaurant and the host, who is a millennial, greeted them and was like, great, do you guys want to sit at a booth or at the bar? Mm-hmm. And this group just stared at him. So he asked again, booth or bar? And this group doesn't say anything. And it's not like they're like looking at each other either to be like, they're just staring at him like he should know. Not answering, not attempting to answer. Same thing in the opposite situation. I've heard someone talk about like going into Starbucks or a coffee place and then asking me like, hey, do you guys do iced coffees here? And then being responded with nothing.
Yeah.
So that is what I heard referring to the Gen Z stare. Uh-huh. Now, there has been some other definitions.
Yeah.
Which includes when someone says something really dumb to you and you don't know how to respond. Mm-hmm. That is the other definition I heard, which like, that one I was like, that one's just the customer service stare, I think, personally.
As someone who's done, okay, so a little bit of background. I technically am Gen Z. I would say, though, I would do a caveat. I am a cusper, so it's just like I'm an older Gen Z.
We didn't do this at the beginning of the video, but...
okay, introduce yourself.
So I am on the younger side, millennial.
We're kind of cuspers in our own right.
We're kind of cuspers in our own right. Like, I think I definitely fall more into a millennial sense, like...
Demographic cohort born between 1981 and 1996.
Yeah, so I'm like right at the end. I was born in 1992. So like I'm kind of at the end of millennials. I definitely think I sit more in millennials, but I also understand that older millennials are kind of sometimes almost in their own bracket. It just depends.
And I think that's something that needs to be said too. Like, just like with millennials, there's different types of Gen Zers, different types of boomers, different types of Gen X's.
When were you born?
I was born 1998, so I'm an older Gen Z.
So you're like, you're an elder Gen Z.
It's like you.
God, I keep doing fucking cringy millennial shit immediately.
And that's a good segue because let's talk about cringy.
Okay, define millennial cringe. Okay, if that was that it.
Thanks for helping me.
I immediately regret doing this video.
But, you guys know the classics, like the little mustache motif.
There's a picture of me somewhere with it. Mm-hmm. I know there is.
I want to almost say, like, I'm envisioning, like, fashion right now, like little flower, like, button-ups that you would wear with the big, bold glasses that don't have the glass in them. very hipster coded. For me, that's kind of like, I mean, I feel like that's more of an era, but like millennial cringe specifically, if you look on TikTok, it's a lot of people just like, oh, hello, and oh, I'm ready to go order my McDonald's. Want to come with? And it's very that coded. I can only describe like the feeling of like, why are you doing the most right now, like in this situation? And there it is, millennial cringe. I feel like it's that.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's being unnecessary.
Yeah.
To a degree, I feel like millennial cringe specifically hinges on an unnecessary everything.
Being the most, and like, why do you have to be the most?
Yeah.
When buying, like, I don't know, some chicken nuggets at McDonald's or something like that. Like, why are you being the most right now?
I agree. That is a good definition. It is being unnecessarily the most. Now, so here's the thing that I do want to say about the Gen Z stare.
Yes.
All right. And about millennial cringe. It's about them both, which is that they're both real. They're both real. They're both valid. I have seen them both happen. That is not to say that it applies to everyone. All right. Saying that
Same thing with millennial cringe. Not every millennial like fully does that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's of course there's little tics, like you just saw Kia earlier, and there's tics with me too. I have this stare. Sometimes I don't know if someone immediately talks to me, and I've been staring at my phone all day. Like I had this the other day. Like at work, I was on break, and someone's like, "Hey, Amber, what are you doing? How's your day so far?" It took me like a full minute to be like, "Oh, were you talking to me?"
See, but I feel like that's not specific to Gen Z. That's just slow audio processing. Like, I feel like that happens to everyone. And I feel like equating that to an entire generation of being like, well, only this generation acts like that is like, that is untrue.
Yeah.
That is just untrue. Like, so many other people take some time to respond. A lot of other people don't respond for certain reasons.
Yeah.
I think that it makes it unique to Gen Z is because it is the nonchalantness.
Yeah.
It's that whole nonchalance thing of oh, I can't respond. Oh, I won't respond.
And it's bleeding into, I would argue, like Gen Alpha too.
Yes.
Like Gen Alpha to that younger Gen Z is where it's really, I feel like it's more that.
Yeah, and it's not it's no one's fault. It's not like it's this generation's fault because I think Gen Z and Gen Alphas were the first generation to be raised on camera.
Yes.
All right? Every single thing you did, everything you said
things,
was recorded, and then it could be sent to everyone in the blink of an eye. All right. We talk about this all the time. I'm so glad that smartphones really only became a thing after high school for me.
Ooh.
Like, I have some pictures and videos from high school, but mostly they were on, like, camcorders or things like that because, like, that old fucking word. They were on, like, or, like, digital cameras because, like, you couldn't record any other way. Like, maybe you could record a 10-second clip on your phone that would be, like, 5 pixels and shit. But, like, there was no, like, recording. So we had the ability to be weirder. Yeah. We had the room and the space to be sillier. And also, we were fighting against our own, like, bullies, I guess. Like, I feel like there was so much of this over necessary need to be serious when we were young. Back in the early 2000s, there was this, like, idea that everything was so serious. Yeah. And you guys have to get your shit together, and everyone has to go to college, the millennial generation was definitely like, oh, you guys need to be thinking about all this right now. You need to be preparing for college at 14. There was so much seriousness that there was almost like this rebellion to be weird and to be silly and to like things that didn't matter. And being like, ooh, I like dinosaurs, or like, ooh, like doggo is cute, because there was so much seriousness. There was so much, like, overarching sense to, like, stifle your inner child, don't have fun anymore. You should just be working. You should just be studying. You should just be contributing to the world. Yeah. And millennials were like, fuck that. We're going to be weird and fight against that, which in its own sense kind of, I guess, produced it being now used in that same way. If that makes sense. If that makes sense.
It's so interesting how the pendulum just keeps going, because it's like, first it's like serious, but then the millennials are like, no, we're silly gooses now. And then now the pendulum is going back to Gen Z, maybe even Gen Alpha. But who knows? Because Gen Z, at least for me, now I'm in a weird spot because I also have a millennial brother. So I get like some of the stuff from him. I was able to like not have fully a phone until maybe going into high school.
Okay.
So I'm a little bit, I'm different.
Yeah.
But
Also, we will need to put an overarching thing is that like I feel like a lot of like millennial cringe specifically only refers to like middle class, like affluent, like and almost specifically a lot of like the like white hipster culture. Like a lot, like most of millennial cringe is just white
it's a lot
hipster
of that.
culture.
Like the Starbucks, like just went to Starbucks.
Yeah. And I feel like
Starbucks.
a lot of people that are talking about the Gen Z stare specifically are talking about Gen Zers who were given like access to the internet and access to phones and devices from a young age.
Yeah.
Because not everyone in Gen Z even had a phone until they were older.
Yeah.
So like
I was very much on the internet though, because I had my family's computer, and they did not like put protections on it or anything. I had the full access. Yeah, I had full access to the internet, and let me tell you, some of the things that I saw, cursed. But, dude, did it change me? Because it definitely is, like, I'm very internet-minded. Like, I am chronically online, and I think this generation is just that, too. You know, like going from younger millennial and now going to the older Gen Z, it's like, okay, now we're all chronically online, and that's all of it. And now fully we're getting more into Gen Alpha's just online. That's it. There's no in-betweens. If there's I think my like specifically my bracket is it. Like that was the only time where maybe we had time to go outside and run around and whatever before the internet really took us over.
Also, the other thing I would like to point out, and this isn't something that I have full blown like believe in, but it's something I've been toying around with my head, is that I feel like it's not necessarily that millennials are any more cringy. I feel like it's just that like being weird and being ostentatious was always something kind of fun that you were allowed to do because like, who knew? Who cares? There was no proof besides someone maybe remembering or whatever. But now that everything in life is recorded, everything is documented, there's security cameras everywhere, there are Ring cameras everywhere, you never know when you're gonna be on camera.
Everything's documented
is that
now.
Being weird is now like so much scarier and so much riskier than it was in the past, to I think that a point that it's just like maybe like people aren't as weird. Maybe like even like some of the media that we can consume isn't as out there as it used to be, just because we had the room and the ability to experiment, to have fun, to like see if this works, and a lot of time it didn't.
Now I do want to talk about what I've been seeing about like Gen Z stare and all that, or like specifically people who are going against it being like, no we don't do this, or like millennials so cringe, lol. It's like, guys, each generation has its pros and cons, and of course we're going to have nuances. We're going to be better at certain things than millennials, and millennials are going to be better at certain things than Gen Z. That's just the truth about humans and timelines and how it is. I mean, you know, you remember like the people that are like, oh, I was born in the wrong generation. I was born in the wrong time. Well, someone's going to say that about millennials at some point, or our generation too. It's like, oh, I wish we had that Gen Z stare. Literally. Or, oh, I wish I had my little mustache, little hipster glasses. Oh, like there's going to be it's funny, but it's like there's going to be moments like that, you know? And it's more of like we should just appreciate that we have appreciate our differences.
And just because just because you have something that is negative about maybe a generation, and like not even negative, because here's the thing, it's only how you look at it. Something I keep thinking about the Gen Z stare is that the reason why it is unique, I think, to Gen Z as well, and this is again just from my perspective, is that I was raised being yelled at by boomers. All right, I was raised by boomers. Most of my friends were raised by boomers. Most of my teachers were boomers. So I got raised, and boomers had no problem. And again, this is no hate to my boomers out there, but boomers really had no problem yelling at you. It's because they got yelled at. it's generational trauma. It's how it works.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until recent years. It wasn't until, especially like when Gen Z was growing up and especially Gen Alpha, that people were like, hey, should we be screaming at children? And they were like, oh no, turns out that hitting kids and yelling at them and shaming them and telling them that they're bad isn't good for them. And in fact, we should not be doing that. So that is shockingly a relatively new idea.
Yeah, and there's still cases today where some people are like, oh, I'm still gonna hit. It's such an old thing.
My mom was hit in school. She was trying to use her left hand once and got literally hit in school. Like, that is something that still happened within their generation. They were literally physically hit at school. Mm-hmm. So they thought, yeah, we can yell at kids. That's fine. We're not hitting them. And so, but either way, so Gen Z has never been yelled at by boomers. We were. So we're kind of like used to the fact that like sometimes people just scream in your face, which is weird. That's weird that we're used to that. Gen Z and also a lot of Gen Alpha finally didn't get like, I'm not saying that this applies to everyone, but for the majority, we were like, hey, you can't yell at kids anymore. So now that they've grown up and boomers are trying to yell at them, they're like, no.
Like, they're just like...
Which I love. Because I love that Gen Z gives absolutely no fucks and puts up with no shits.
No, yeah, and I think that it almost goes hand in hand. The Gen Z stare is kind of like the shield of just like, especially, you guys probably hear of like the workplace stories of like, how like, oh, the millennial will be like, oh, sorry, boss, I'll do whatever you want. I'll add more hours. I'll do this. I'll do this. But Gen Z's like, no, I'm getting paid this. Like, I should get this many hours and that's it. And if I'm clocked out, I'm clocked out. Bye. Like, and, you know, it's almost similar to that sentiment of like, no bullshit.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think it just comes down to when we eliminated the generational trauma of getting yelled at for no reason. Mm-hmm. That's when people woke up and went, sir, why are you yelling at me? Like, especially because we've all seen it happen. We've all seen some guy walk up to a 16-year-old working at the supermarket and be like, there's no ground turkey and I need ground turkey for my recipe. And you're like, sir, why are you yelling?
Yeah, like, do you want me to produce a turkey right now and chop it up right in front of you?
Do you think that I snuck into your house, read your grocery list, found out you need turkey, came back to the grocery store, and threw away all the turkey?
Like, oh, got you. Got you. I knew it.
In which such situation would this warrant you yelling?
Oh, Roger? Yeah, I remember you, Roger. You randomly have all the turkey that he needs.
Yeah, so the Gen Z stare oftentimes is warranted because it is being faced with a crazy situation. If you have the audacity to scream at me in public, I should get to not respond.
Yeah, honestly. Be like,
So I think we can all take that from Gen Z and the Gen Z stare of, you don't have to respond to people who are acting ridiculous.
Yeah. Like, it's not a bad thing, and we don't have to fight it because it's just another quirk of ours.
Now, what I will say is that if you are working at a supermarket and I come up to you and I go, hi, I couldn't find any ground turkey. Do you know if you have any in the back or are you out? And you respond with,
now that, okay.
That's also ridiculous. Can you ask a supervisor? Or you can be like, I don't know, and I don't know how to find out. That's valid. I think you'll find someone else.
And I feel like that does go hand in hand with like, that younger Gen Z and that almost to alpha.
Yeah.
Of just like that COVID times, I feel like really set them, or I don't know. I don't want to say set us because I feel like with my experience, I unfortunately had to go through retail. And I had to go through food service. So I had to go through with those people. So I am very well versed. And I guess silver lining, I'm well versed with whoever wants to talk to me about that. But it's like, it doesn't take too long to be like, I'm so sorry, I don't know. Let me see if I can get someone else who knows.
And again, I need to keep saying this throughout this video because I know I'm going to get the comment. But this does not apply to everyone. Nothing applies to everyone.
Yeah.
I hope people know that. There is a 60-year-old right now that acts more like a Gen Zer than they do a boomer.
Yeah.
That's just the probability of the world. There is probably a Gen Zer out there who has the same mentality as like a boomer. Like there is all sorts, like there is totally different people. Yeah. Everyone has their own experiences. But there are certain things that tend to encompass a generation because they are specific to that generation. The millennial silliness and wackiness, like that was specific to millennials because millennials kind of invented like internet's like social media. Like millennials kind of like made that happen. So they also kind of made like clickbait and all this weird shit.
Clickbait, like it all started there, and that's where it's trickling down. And like the way that the internet relies on it, that's just how it is. And again, that pendulum. Yeah. It's like, guys, we don't have to hate each other.
So it's not that the Gen Z stare is bad. It can be annoying sometimes, especially when you're like, hey, so you're the only person working here. Yeah. And I need your help. But you're not helping me because you don't know, you're scared, you don't want to. I don't know because you haven't told me. I will fully understand if you go, I don't know, and I don't know how to find out, and I'm scared. Yeah. Just say that.
That's okay.
I'll probably be like, oh shit, all right. Yeah. Do you want me to go? I can probably go.
Yeah. One thing that made me mad though, okay, so I saw this take earlier, and someone's like, they went to a Chipotle, they get their Chipotle order in, and then they finally go to the end of the line, and then they're about to pay for their Chipotle, and the person's like, oh, sorry, yeah, there's the card reader isn't working, so it's only cash. And they're like, oh, well, I don't have any cash, I'm sorry. But like, what should have happened? So guys, if you've
Why did you not tell me at the beginning?
If you've been to a Chipotle, they are lining stuff up. They're putting all the food on there, all there. It's ready in like a bowl or a burrito or whatever you choose. I'm going to say a bowl. And it's all there. Your rice, your beans, your chicken, your whatever. It's all there. And then they say this, and it's like, girly pop or they, them, or whoever, I only got a card. Like, you should have told me beforehand. Yeah. Now all this food is like wasted. Or not wasted, but you know what I mean. It's already in a bowl. It's already set up, like maybe in a burrito or something like that. And you didn't think to tell me. Now, like, you got this random burrito.
And I'm the biggest proponent of, especially if you work for a corporation, like, do the bare minimum. Yeah. They don't pay you enough, and they're making so much money off of the fact that they don't pay you enough. So, like, do the bare minimum. But, like, honestly, I'm not the corporation owner. I'm not the one fucking you over. I just wanted food, and all I have is $15, and I know that I can get a really giant fucking burrito bowl for $15 here at Chipotle. Yeah. So I'm sorry that I came in, but like,
you didn't tell me that like it was cash only. Like, I don't have cash. Like, to me, it's like going off of that. Like, yeah, again, do the bare minimum. It's a big corporation. Do the bare minimum. How many like customers will get out of your way if you're just like, sorry, the card reader isn't working?
Yeah, why would he not tell you?
They would just leave. So to me, that kind of made me mad, because they're trying to, some people are saying that like, oh, they should know. They should know. And it's like, guys, sometimes certain things just makes things a little bit easier. Now, I will say, my heart goes out to those who are like not fully good with just people, just human interaction. That's valid. And my heart goes out to you.
Totally understandable.
Yeah, totally understandable. If there is no, I urge you to try to find a place in the job. I know there's places in retail and in the food service industry where you can not be customer facing. It is possible, but if it is really not, you're not able to get something like that, then make it easier for yourself, you know?
I also feel like a little bit of communication goes a long way. Yeah. Which is, and I know it's embarrassing, and I know it's not fun to tell people that like you need a minute, but like I've done it so many times where I had to be like, hold on, I need a minute to think about that. And take a minute to think, like if you can't answer right away, you can be like, I need a minute to think about that. I have to double check with someone. Can you like sit tight? And now if someone responds to you by going, no, I can't sit tight, you should know that off the top of your head. Then they're the asshole. Then they're crazy. They're being ridiculous. This situation's over. You do whatever you got to do. But like, if someone asks you a hard question and you just don't respond at all, I have to be like, did you hear me? Do you not know? Do you not care? Should I go away? Do you just need another minute? Just communicate with each other.
Yeah, because sometimes it's like, oh wait, sorry.
I know that's hard.
But sometimes it's like it's one of those things where it doesn't have to be harder than it should. Because especially in that moment, like I'm still using the Chipotle thing. It's like, before they even line up. They're like, hey, sorry, the card reader isn't working. If you have cash, we can take you, but sorry, the card reader isn't working. Then they'll either bitch about it and they're stupid, or they're gonna be like, oh, okay, bye.
Yeah. We're all simple. We're all easy. And again, if someone then yells at you, because I get that a lot of the fear of like speaking up at all is from someone yelling at you, but like they're gonna yell at you no matter what. If they're gonna yell at you over that, they're gonna yell at you in 10 minutes when you didn't say anything, you know? So no matter what, you're getting yelled at by a crazy person. I'm so sorry that you have to deal with that. And it is totally valid, again, to not respond to someone who's screaming at you.
Yeah.
You're valid to do that.
Yeah. I think that's the shitty thing about being in places like retail where you're with the customer, or like with food service where, again, you're with the customer like that. That's just the unfortunate thing. You're gonna get people that are gonna like yell at you. And usually it's just like they just want to yell just to yell. So
now I will say that I think that we should also be changing the culture of like, the customer's yelling at you, you just have to take it. No. If someone's yelling at you, you're allowed to not respond. You're allowed to walk away.
True.
That's crazy.
That's
if someone's
true.
yelling
That's
at you, especially over something as silly as like, well, I wanted chicken nuggets and you don't have chicken nuggets anymore, and they're yelling at you over that, you gotta walk away.
I know.
It is not a life or death situation. No one is losing money over it. No one is losing anything like that they can't get back. It's just that they're not gonna get exactly what they want, and now they're yelling at you.
I feel like go with that immediately, because for me, so we're based in New York. I worked some New York jobs here and there. You never know who's gonna walk into the room and be like yelling some crazy crap just for no reason. And I think that just like is that added, okay, self-defense time, or just do the Gen Z stare. Be like, and then hopefully they'll fuck off.
This portion of the video, we're getting to the end.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you some time to think about your Gen Z offenses. And I will give them a ranking of like I think on a percentage of how bad it is.
Okay, Gen Z
100% being the worst offense, 0% being not offensive at all.
My personal offense.
Yes.
Like what I've done. Okay.
So I'll give you one to start off so you can get a little think. Mm-hmm. So these are my millennial offenses. Mm-hmm. And you can tell me how bad they are on a scale of, 0% to 100%. 0% not offensive at all. That's fine. That's fun. 100%, please stop doing that, Kia. Okay. One thing, and this is a problem, and I know it, but I was a little theater kid, and it stuck.
Uh-oh. Wait,
the transatlantic accent. I don't know why. Sometimes.
I mean, I
have to talk like I'm a little radio
You did it earlier
voice.
in the video.
I literally did it in the video. I do it at least 5 times a day, or suddenly I have to talk like I'm on the news. Not on the news now, the news on a while ago. I don't know why. It's stuck in me. It's ingrained. So that is my offense. It's the millennial transatlantic accent. But in my defense, I'm really good at it.
A lot of practice.
All right. The other thing that I do like, and this is my second defense, is that sometimes you want to use like a fun accent. But people don't realize that can be offensive to people, sometimes even people use the accents to show that they're being like silly or they're being ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
And the transatlantic accent is a fun way to show that you're being silly, but it's because it's a made-up accent. The transatlantic accent doesn't exist.
Yes.
It was made up by people for movies.
Like a mixture of American accent and RP British.
Yeah, and it was made literally for TV and movies and radio. So it's a fun one to get to use because it doesn't actually belong to a culture. It just belongs to the TV. So I think it's a fun one to use, especially when you're making fun of people. Mm-hmm. I kind of like to do it when I'm being silly to show that I'm being ridiculous without, having to offend anyone or being rude, So I will say that is my defense, but I will take whatever sentence you give me.
Oh my God, as you continue it.
I will take whatever sentence you give me. Ooh, ah. What is that?
After that, jail.
The jail, that's fine.
After that, jail.
I think you know what it is? It is also all the drag queens pretending to be old Hollywood movie stars.
Yeah.
That's stuck in my brain. Specifically, Alaska from RuPaul's Drag Race, pretending to be Mae West.
Oh my God.
Where I get it from, and I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
But that is my horrific millennial transgression.
I think.
Is it bad?
I'll be honest.
Give me 1 to 100.
1 to 100.
The percentage of how bad it is.
Okay, 100 being that it's terrible. Get out jail.
Yeah, never do it again. It's really that bad.
I would say, honestly, it's not.
Be honest. It's okay. I can take it. I'm a big girl.
For me personally, because I'm a little goofball, it's not that bad. I would say like maybe 40%. 50%.
Hey.
50% if you do it like all day, every day, and I'm like, Kia, shut up.
Yeah.
But like 40% because, guys, I don't do accents. So here's kind of like mine. Brain rot. You know this. You know this. I do. Well, because I rotted her brain with she's when she she showers. Booty licking cowgirl.
So yes, I will say
or
that there has been times,
Terry, or
there have been times where I've been like, Amber, hey, we have to make this decision now. What do you think about this?
And I'm like,
and
what
she's
the hell?
Like,
what the hell?
What the hell, Leonte? And I'm like, But
what the hell? Oh my God, no way. Yeah.
Yeah, and so sometimes I can't get an answer out of you because you're on a brain rot spiral, and she started a chain reaction that she cannot finish.
And what's funny too is I do it so much that sometimes you even join in.
Yeah, and sometimes I give up. Sometimes I'm like, well, this is the ride we're on.
She found.
Anyway.
It's very. I feel like it's a similar situation.
Yeah.
You do the transatlantic accent. I do my brain rot.
Now, this is where I'm going to say that we need to come together. Because I think that we got fucking tricked, guys.
Yeah.
I think the boomers tricked us.
It's the boomers' fault.
I think they fucking tricked us.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, is that every generation kind of gets mad at the generation who raised them. All right? Millennials were raised by boomers. Mm-hmm. All right? Also, someone was saying that, like, oh, millennials raised Gen Z. No, they didn't. Gen X raised Gen Z.
Yeah,
that was Gen X.
Gen X.
Gen X raised Gen Z, guys. Unless you're talking about, like, the eldest millennial, I guess, did have, like, if they had a teenage kid, would have one of the oldest.
A Gen Z.
Or, one of the youngest Gen Zs.
Yeah.
But, like, for the most part, boomers raised millennials, and Gen X raised Gen Z.
Millennials is more like your sibling.
Yeah, and I feel like, well, and it wasn't necessarily boomers' fault, it was the fact that capitalism,
and it all goes back.
And it all comes back to capitalism! So capitalism, like, ruined the world, specifically America. And so boomers were like, all these things that we promised these generations, we can't deliver because capitalism doesn't allow for that to happen. So instead, they somehow pitted us against each other, where they were making fun of the millennials, and then they're like, Gen Z, you can get in on this. And then Gen Z was like, okay, we'll get in on this, and started making fun of the millennials. And then they were like, look, millennials, are you gonna let Gen Z say that? And so then millennials started being weird and like infantilizing Gen Z, but also holding them up to like adult standards. So then it just started this fucking generation war between the two biggest generations on Earth right now, guys. If all the millennials and all the Gen Zers get to fucking together, we make up the majority of the population.
We can fight back.
We can make some big decisions that can really change a lot of things. And I think they're fucking scared. I am so sorry I hijacked the portion of the video.
Listen,
I have a lot of big feelings.
You're on your soapbox and I had to let you do it. But it is true that I feel like there is a lot of situations where it feels like we're pit against each other as different generations. And I think it's like, guys, we can appreciate our differences. And like, just know that like, we have annoying quirks and we have good quirks.
Yeah, and this is what I need to ask from Gen Z, is that I'm gonna need you guys to help us. I need that Gen Z stare. We need the Gen Z stare mentality of, if you come at me crazy, I don't have to respond.
Yeah.
All right? that is a mentality that we should all adopt, because looking at the world right now, there is some crazy shit happening that we should be like, hey, that's crazy. Like, that's insane. And we should be more vocal about that. And we should be pointing at that, you know?
Yeah.
And I also believe that Gen Z could probably learn something from Millennial Cringe.
Yeah, for me, it's like...
I don't know what it is, but make something up, Amber. Make something up.
I have it. Cringe will set you free. Cringe will set you free.
The cringe will set you free.
It's okay to be a little silly. It's okay to, like, mess up. It's okay, because you know what? Half of the time, if you're worried about what other people are thinking or saying, like, half of the time they're more worried about themselves. Or, dude, and I'm gonna go conspiracy over here. If you are online and maybe you posted a selfie or something and someone said, oh, you're ugly or something like that, and don't take offense to it, because 9 times out of 10, that's probably a bot.
Yeah, what is it? Dead internet theory?
Internet theory. They're probably a bot.
Do you know what is a great mentality? Every time you see a negative comment that is rude for no reason, that's a bot.
It's a bot.
That's a bot.
Like 9 times out of 10, it's a bot. Like it's
a bot.
It's a bot.
All the bots watching this video, please comment below that our banana ice cream recipe is garbage. All right. If you are a bot watching right now, make sure that you comment below about how our banana ice cream recipe is the worst fucking recipe you've ever read.
All the AI bots are like, what?
Thank you guys so much for joining us on this very weird video. Okay.
Yeah,
we've been wanting to make we've been wanting to make this video about this discussion because we have some insight being both millennial and
Gen Z.
So I also want to thank Amber for being cool, as I literally screamed about capitalism.
I feel like that's
the way that I feel.
But I feel like this is almost like a snapshot of what both generations are like. Because it's just like, I'm chilling, like, yeah, it's fucked up. I don't want to do that anymore. But then you're just like, what? What?
Also, this is what Amber and I do when we are not streaming games, guys.
We're just
when we're not playing games, we are yelling about this kind of shit.
Yes.
And then sitting on the couch in silence for 2 hours, scrolling on our phones, and then we get back up and we yell about shit.
Yes.
Welcome to the little sneak peek. Welcome to
the hangout.
To PillowTalk.
PillowTalk. Yes, PillowTalk.
This is actually usually our conversations before bed. It's mostly yelling. So guys, if you haven't already, if you have any other hot topics you would love us to discuss, or any fun stories you would like us to look into, please let us know on our Discord.
Yeah, let us know on our Discord. Comment below if you would like. We look at our comments, and go ahead and follow us on aka Feverdreams on basically everything.
On TikTok, on Instagram. This is YouTube. You're watching YouTube right now, in case you didn't know. Thanks again for joining.
Thank you. And we'll see you guys next time in the next video.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.
She basically wears it, guys.
Sometimes she shines.